Who's hungry? The deli's open. Hey guys, Marco D'Angelo here, back with another edition of Marco's Deli, powered by WagerTalk TV. If you enjoy these free videos that we do each week, ask you one favor. Just give us a thumbs up or leave us a comment. Doing one or both of those things really helps the channel out. And the more of you that give us that thumbs up and leave comments, the more we can bring you free videos each week. All right, guys. And speaking of these free videos, I've got two free plays for you. We're going to look at the game 5 of the NBA Finals on Saturday and game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals on Sunday. So let's get things started and let's head to San Antonio for Saturday. And well, if you're a San Antonio Spur fan, you got to be wondering what the psyche is of the Spurs, because they got to be kicking themselves. They're down 3-1 in the series, but if you look at all four games, they had double-digit leads in these games and then blew these leads, especially the last one, blowing a 29-point lead in New York in Game 4. Now, we look at this series, and 3 of the 4 games have gone under the total. I think we're setting up for another under in Game 5. And if you look, Game 4 managed to stay under, even with both teams connecting on a high percentage of three-pointers. San Antonio hit 17 of 43 from 3 for 39.5%, while New York hit an insane 47% from 3, connecting on 15 of 32. Now, not only were both teams hitting those threes, but you had a lot of late points in the final minute and a half, because the Knicks were willing to trade, sending San Antonio to the line for 2 while they were shooting threes, and they were hitting those threes down the stretch. So you had the clock stopped with San Antonio at the line, and then you had New York hitting threes, and it still stayed under the total. I think this is kind of a correlated parlay as well, because if the Spurs are to win, you would expect it to be more of a defensive game than an offensive game. And I do think the Spurs will send this back to New York for game 6. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and look at the under, and the over-under is 216 and a half for game 5 on Saturday. So for the first play here on this week's Deli, let's go under 216 and a half in the San Antonio New York Knicks game. Now, before we get to that second winner for you, let me tell you what's happening over at WagerTalk. We've got a special going. You can pick up 3 days of service. Buy 3 days at the regular rate of $69, and we'll throw in 3 bonus days. That gets you 6 days of all access service for just $69. Guys, we're on a nice run. Now, I know everybody likes big plays. They like the 5% plays, and why not? And when we've had a 5% play, and we haven't released a ton of those, we have hit 9 of our last 10, and that spans over 3 months' time. But, guys, we're winning all of our big plays, and I'm talking about 3% and higher plays. You know, I am very conservative with my rating system, but it produces big profits. We are more about low risk, high reward. And guys, my 3% and up plays the last 8 days, 9 and 3. And I can tell you that those have been basically all 3 and 4% plays, 9 and 3 over the last 8 days. We're having a good week. We're 5 and 2 overall for the week. And over the last 23 days, all of our plays were 36 and 25 for a profit of 24 and a half units. Guys, you look at the last 2+ years, we have been rolling with our plays. We're up over 134 units for our clients. So if you want to join us, no better time than do it right now. Grab 3 days. You'll get 3 days free. That's 6 days, $69. That comes out to about $11 a day. guys, for all of our plays. And we sell our plays. Just one of those 3 or 4% plays sell for $25 by themselves. And when we have a 5% play, those sell for $35. So this is a tremendous deal for you for 6 days. Go ahead and head over to WagerTalk.com to check that out. If you want to go directly to my homepage, you can do so by going to wt.buzz/MD. All right, let's take a look at that Sunday Stanley Cup playoff game. It is Game 6, and Carolina will be traveling to Vegas for Game 6. And yes, Carolina can close this one out in Game 6. But the Golden Knights are not going to go away without a fight. And Game 5 ended 4-2. That is the first game that did not go over the total. You look at these games, they've been all high-scoring games. This game ended with 6 goals. The consensus number on Game 5 was 6. There were a couple rogue 6.5s out there. But for the majority of the sports books around town, the total was 6 and was a push. Now, if you look at that game and break it down, a couple things stand out. And what I saw in that game is the goals that Vegas gave up kind of were, 2 of them were fluky goals, and 2 of them obviously were on power plays. And Vegas absolutely killed themselves with the penalties in this game. They had a penalty, a 2-minute penalty. They had the penalty killed, and 1 second after that penalty ended, they got a second penalty. So basically, back-to-back penalties. They had to fight off 4 minutes shorthanded. Well, they didn't get the job done in the second power play there on the back-to-back, and Carolina got a goal. Then later in the game, in the third period, when the game was still tight, they ended up getting another power play. It was a double minor on Mark Stone, and they had to try to once again kill off 4 minutes of penalties. Did not work. Gave up another power play goal, and that was 2 of the 4 goals. And on the other side, those other 2 goals that Carolina did get, Vegas was out of position defensively. They got caught. They were easy tap-in goals. And so I look at it, and I think the complexion of that game was a under game. And one other thing to note about that game is we've now had 2 games where Brandon Bussey has been the goaltender. Remember, he came in the third period of game number 3 when Carolina was down 4-0. He's got them back into this series and got them the lead. He's played well and gaining confidence with each game. So I think you're going to see a defensive game in Game 6 from Vegas. And Carlson went out for Vegas in this game. No word yet on his condition for Game 6, but it did not look good as he left the building to go to the hospital to get an X-ray. So I think that you're losing a big piece of the offense for Vegas Golden Knights. So that also leads to the under in Game 6. We'll go ahead and take under Game 6. We're going to go under that total of 6 goals for your second play. Once again, guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in each week for these videos. Marco's Deli's been a great success. You guys have been supporting the channel and this particular show. We'll be continuing to do it. I appreciate you guys. Give us that thumbs up if you do like the video. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about the NBA and hockey over the weekend, the Stanley Cup Finals, who you think is going to prevail in these games. And till next week, guys, good luck. Let's eat good this week, and I will talk to you next week here on Marco's Deli.